Hello again, everyone. Welcome to the second update of this series, the Virtual Economies unit game that I'm making. Yeah, I decided to do more than one update for this just because I'm doing it in like divided pushes, so I thought it'd be a good idea. So, to keep it nice and simple, today I've been working on a crafting system and I've got it to a point where I think it's rather nice. Now, you might notice this scene has grown a bit in complexity since the last video. It's not that major, but essentially I've just added in some new mechanics, etc. Nothing huge except for, as I'm saying, this crafting system. Over here, I made it nice and pretty with lights because I kept losing this tower. Now, the idea with the crafting system is that obviously if you put in the time and the effort, you can get good at crafting, you can get rare items, you can make even rarer items, crafting components make other crafting components. It's a survival game. That's how they all work since the dawn of time. I thought a crafting system was a necessary part of this game. However, I only wanted to make a simple one. So, inspired by playing Baldur's Gate 3, I decided it was just going to be chuck a bunch of items in there, press combine, see what happens. Nothing too complex like, say, the Minecraft system, and I didn't want to put it behind too many gated barriers, such as maybe the World of Warcraft system, where you have to level up and unlock the different components. Now, I might in the future do something similar to that, but instead of it being tied to your character level, it will have a separate crafting level. So, Ark versus World of Warcraft, more World of Warcraft there. That way, if you choose to become a fighter, you can be leveling up your fighting skills, your exploring skills, your survival skills. If you choose to become a crafter, you'll be focusing on your storage capacity and, yeah, your crafting skill line. I really hope I sink enough of my energy into this game to have a crafting skill line, but of course that is in the future. So, let's just play and I'll show you what we've got. So, actually, I'm not going to do that quite yet. Sorry for that. What I will do is I will just go through the way I'm structuring things, give you guys a bit more of a behind the scenes view. So I have 3 or 4 classes here, but they essentially boil down to items and recipes. So here we have our data. Now I'm basing these off Unity scriptable objects. Now that's really useful. I get serialized data that I can just have in these nice pre-packaged packets. Alright, so let's say we've got amber. I can give it a rarity, an icon. I've locked this. There we go. Yeah, look, the amber icon, lovely, beautiful. I could make a custom inspector for this. I don't really need to right now. Okay, so I've got this. I then have some sub items, so some scriptable objects that derive from items such as weapons and tools. And again, there's no real difference there, except on here we have a slot where you can equip it, and we have a cooldown for your interaction of the item. Now, I'll probably end up extending that cooldown functionality to all items, or simply, yeah, adding in a whole usable interface. It's just because you don't just use held objects, you can also use an apple or something like that. So I'll probably look at that. Yeah, okay, cool. So then when I have our recipes, now recipes take a bunch of items and an amount as an input, so branch, bone, 2 branches, 1 bone, and it gives me an output, 1 bone knife, boom. Alright, very simple. Now I haven't got bone actually lootable in this scene yet, so we can't test that one, but we can test the wooden spear, which is what I've been using as my test. 2 branches, 1 stone gives you 1 wooden spear. I just bit my tongue, that hurt. Okay, dokes, let's play. And here we are, got my lovely angel here. As you remember, that's my auction house. This is my storage. Now, my crafting house is actually derived from my storage components a little bit. So, this is your normal chest. You can put stuff into the chest, walk away, all lovely. Okay? And then you can go back to the chest and be like, I want it back. Okay? That was the idea of all of this. Seems to work. Now, crafting containers are essentially your normal kind of chest, except with the ability to act on what is inside the container. So, I'm just going to loot some trees. Oh, is that a... Ha, bone knife, lol. Sorry, I have scattered items. I used a random placement tool to scatter a lot of items. So, every now and again, I'm surprised by where stuff is. So, I've got a bunch of stone, A bunch of branches there, so that's good. That's nice. Beautiful swirlies. Right. It is a fun thing, this. You might have noticed it in the previous video as well. When I'm opening a window where the mouse is given its freedom, it seems to be spinning the character. Now, that's not actually intentional, even though the speed is such that it's almost like a nice effect. But yeah, it's fine. So here you can see very similar interface to the chest. We're just going to go stone and branches, select, transfer, boom. I've got my predictive bit in here. So when you click this, the function to transfer items plays, and I've just added on the end of that, overridden that function to make it predict what you're going to do. That way I don't have to do all of the processing on the hit of the combine button. You hit combine, and into your inventory this goes. Now, I'm just going to do this. So we've got 4 of these in here. We've still got 8 stone. Now, when I go out of here, those 8 stone get added back to my inventory. I've made crafting containers a non-persistent interface for storing objects. You can't use an anvil to store all your items. Just a personal decision, but I thought it would work. Now I just need to get some more branches. What I'm going to show you is every item also contains a stack size. Now stack sizes are obviously important. They are essentially artificial scarcity created by the developer. I probably shouldn't have done that. Are you ready? Ha! It worked. Okay, sorry, that didn't work last time. Okay. So artificial scarcity is obviously very important in this unit in particular because it's a core functionality of an economy. If everyone could have everything all the time, there's no reason to trade. If there's no reason to trade, then there is no economy. So we have 10 branches. Let's just grab a few more. This should help. Boom, boom, boom. 16? Yeah, that should do it. Okay, let's head back over to our lights. I have no idea if jumping makes me go faster, but it makes me feel like it does. Lovely. So let's get our branches in stone, chuck them in, and keep making wooden spears. Now you'll see I reached the cap. Alright, and one thing I've implemented is that if you try and add something, yeah, you can reach that cap, and I can keep making spears, and now I've got 3 there. Now as I leave, I got my stone back, but no wooden spears. Go back in here, I still have my wooden spears there. So I have created, they are still containers and obviously still able to do that kind of persistent storage. So I have chosen to do that, but only for things that won't fit in the inventory. Now that seems to me that it's going to be exploitable. It might be that in the future I choose to drop those items on the ground. However, I haven't got while I do have a prefab spawning system, they're all the same prefab, so technically when you drop a wooden spear it turns into generic drop and you pick up stone, because I'm not assigning any values there. So, not too bad for a couple of weeks worth of prototype. I think I'm really happy that how expandable that is. To create a recipe, all I need to do is go create data recipe, and this could be for a iron spear, yeah? We'll just go out of here. Now this is serializable, so I don't actually have to close the game, but I prefer to just for my own peace of mind. Chuck a couple branches in there. Chuck a couple iron ingots. Boom, boom. Let's say 2 branches, 1 iron ingot, and 1 essence of heat. Now, essence of heat is actually a fun little item I'm having fun with. I didn't want to have to do a mechanic where you had to be near a forge to be able to do blacksmithing. So what I've got is an essence of heat. You can use magical abilities in the future to harvest it from a heat source, maybe a bonfire, something like that, and you can use it for heat related things such as starting a bonfire or smelting ore. So the output of this is obviously our iron spear. I've already made this, that's why I chose it. Output 1, I believe spear is SPT. Yeah, that looks right. Let's go that one. Love it. Iron spear will have a particular icon, but this is just a rush job. I then just have to go into my item manager, chuck the new iron spear recipe. I've named that wrong. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna iron spear recipe. There we go. And we're just gonna chuck that into the manager. Now, I'm just gonna fix this manager. You can notice I did delete an item there. So let's chuck that into our recipes, get our iron ingot. I know I'm saying iron, it's because I'm reading stuff as I go, so you know, that's just pronunciation fun. And then we save, and that's as hard as it is to add a new recipe. That'll now be detected by this. If I had essence of heat and iron and wood, I would be able to make my iron spear. Just like last week, guys, if you have any questions about this, feel free to comment. I'm always open to answering them. It gives me ideas. So yeah, thanks for checking this out.